The problem is that for another time we show that we are not a team. We are 11 players that go into the pitch, and I see selfish players. I see players that don't want to help each other, don't put the heart. To understand that we play for the badge. We have to play to make our fans proud of us. You have to play to show desire.
Every single word Antonio Conte said during this rant was 100% on point. Of course, I'm not going to play the whole clip. If you want, it's going to be linked down in the description below. But everything he said, everything he touched on was on point. And this has been a long time coming, not just for Spurs as a club. Of course, he's the manager there. Who knows, maybe for just another 10 games. But I think the message that he put out is well received across the globe when it comes to managers. Because as I said in my last video, we need to stop this BS around protecting players at all costs, always blaming the manager for every single problem at every club. Enough is enough. Players, a lot of players these days just don't play for the badge anymore. And it's just not a new thing. It's not happening right now. It's been happening for years and years. Why is that, you might happen? Well, because why should players care, right? It doesn't matter what happens during the match. They'll still get paid their millions of dollars, millions of euros each and every year. So they don't care about their performance. Who has to care about the performance each and every week, because the scrutiny is on that single person, is the manager. Spurs had the best managers in the world, right? Just look at the last two. I mean, look at Conte, look at Mourinho. Both of them didn't win a thing with Spurs. Actually, look at all the managers that just came to Spurs, haven't won a thing. I mean, he even said it in the rant as well.
They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. Yeah, it's easy in this way. And Tottenham story is this. 20 years that there is the owner and never won something.
These young players, they make millions and become, let's say, so-called social media influencers and think they own the world. But in reality, their only job is to play football for 90 minutes, maybe sometimes a little bit more, during the week and try and win the game. That's about it. All the rest, we don't care. We as fans don't care. You don't get paid to become a, social media influencer and then paint your hair every week with another color. We don't give a fuck about that. We just don't care. We just want to see you play, perform good, and help our club win games, win trophies. That's about it. And that's probably also what the owner wants, right? He's not paying you to become a celebrity on Instagram or on TikTok or whatnot. No, he wants you to become a good player to be part of this team and start winning games. Of course, there are external factors, external players that do care about your social media presence, that do care about the sponsorships that you get, that do care about the color of your hair, because, well, that's one way for them to make a lot of money. And that has, in my opinion, destroyed football in the last couple of years. Money corrupts the mind. Money has corrupted this sport from a long, long time ago. This is not a new phenomenon, but of course with the younger, the newish type of player that have a lot of talent, that are already on a, $100,000, $200,000 or euros contract each and every week, things change pretty fast. And again, why should these players care, right? Why should they care? Do you think they care about the fans that feel sad after the game, after they've lost the game? Do you think they care about fans that travel across the world to watch their favorite team, watch their favorite player, and then lose the game? Do you think they think about you and me paying money to buy the jerseys, to go to the match, to go watch a game, in the Champions League, across Europe? Do you think they give a fuck about this? To be honest, I don't think so. I don't think many of these players actually care what fans think. They only care about what hits their bank account. And you know who cares even less? Their agents. Agents in football and maybe in other sports as well have also corrupted these sports. Why? Because again, they are here to make as much money as they can, to take as much money from one club and put it in their pockets and also put it in their clients' pockets. Remember, these are young players. All the young talents, I'm talking about young players in big teams, the talents in big teams. They earn millions and millions. They only care about their sponsorships. They only care about the money that comes into their bank account. Of course, you have elite players that actually care about winning games, about winning trophies. For example, Erling Haaland. I think he's the type of player that you want in your team because he plays to win. And that's why when you listen to Jose Mourinho, for example, when he talks about his previous teams, previous Inter team, Real Madrid, Chelsea, these were teams, these were a family, these were teams, these were people that went on the pitch, United as well, the old Arsenal as well. They went on the pitch knowing fully well mentally they are prepared to battle, mentally they are prepared to suffer. They knew very well, we'll be there, we'll tackle, we'll score goals, we'll win, and that's about it. Today, do the players care? No, they just want maybe more followers on social media, more likes, more whatever, as if that makes any difference, right? Who cares about your social media? You're getting paid to do a job. I think football, or maybe sports in general, but football specifically, is probably the only job, let's call it, where you can underperform for a long, long time and still get paid millions of dollars. Maybe politicians as well.
But you are finding an alibi, another alibi. You try to find alibi, an excuse for the players. Okay, continue to do this. To find excuse for the players. You do only this. Excuse for the players. Yeah, but the players maybe my future, and then okay, they lost confidence, they lost spirit, they lost to be a team. Excuse. Try to protect every time, and this situation. Come on.
Now coming back to Conte, he was 100% right when he criticized, well not criticized, but corrected the journalist. When the journalist suddenly wanted to jump to another topic and say, do you think that you may be leaving or you're not having a future at the club is influencing the player one way or another? I mean, why? Why are you trying to spin the story yet again? Is it so hard to start criticizing players and stop criticizing the manager? Shall I remind you, the manager is not on the pitch running around. Yes, he's the one selecting the players, but he puts his faith in his players that he puts on the team. And he thinks that the players actually give a fuck about this team, about the fans, about winning. He's not there on the pitch, and I promise you this, I think if Antonio Conte were on the pitch, he would probably do more than a lot of his players in his team. And this again goes all the way back to player power. For years and years, clubs have put too much or have given too much power to specific players. They've protected the players from everything, criticism, media, whatever. But one thing they forgot is that if you start by prioritizing the, let's say, safe spaces for these young snowflakes, then you're more likely to lose a lot of games and never win an actual trophy. I mean, if you think that the way forward is just blaming the manager for every single thing, letting your players play the way they are, never criticizing them, even though they've never won anything, if you think that this is the way to go and you'll be world champion, you'll win Champions League, Premier League, Bundesliga, doesn't matter, then you're delusional. If you think that this is the way, you're delusional, you're just in it, probably just in it for the money that you get from marketing sponsors, whatnot. And I know I'm blaming the club here a lot, I'm also blaming external people, but the blame might also be a bit with some fans. Some fans, maybe some newer ones especially, think that players are above the club. They idolize a player, they don't idolize a club. I don't think that's the way to go. And the prime example here was probably Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo, not so long ago. It's club and then player. Doesn't matter if you're one of the best players of all times. Club comes first, then comes the player. And I think again, many fans are to blame for what has been happening throughout these years. They think, we like this player. It's never the player's fault. It's always the manager. It's always maybe another player on the pitch, or it's just the club that is badly run. I don't think that's the way to go. It has never been the case that someone is above the club. Never has been, never will be.
We are professional. We paid, the club paid us a lot of money. The players receive money. Me receive money. You understand? Not to find excuse and don't have spirit or don't show the sense of belongings, or don't show sense of responsibility, because we are showing this. And for me, this is unacceptable for me, because this is the first time in my career to see a situation like this.
Now, of course, the players, as Conte just said, they like comfort, right? They like to relax, they like comfort, they don't like to struggle. Because, let's face it, when you're 18, 20 years old and you get handed contracts that are worth millions of dollars, sponsorship, marketing, products, whatever, your social media account is blowing up, etc., etc., you think you're on top of the world, of course you don't like to struggle, right? And why should you? Why should you struggle, right? Because you're already a millionaire by the age of 20, 22. Who cares what happens? Well, to be honest, might be right. You might be right. If you're so young, of course, your mind is maybe playing tricks on you. The numbers in your bank account is certainly not playing tricks on you. But again, if you think that this is the good way forward, again, you're delusional, because they like the comfort life, they like the luxury life. And so when suddenly they struggle, when suddenly results go against them, they can't handle it. They can't handle it. And again, we go straight to the same point. Who will get the blame? The manager. Why is that? Because it's easier. It's easier to point the finger to one person than to point the finger to 11 or 10 or 9 or 8 players. Of course, it's the easy way out. Because, well, you don't really have to use the brain that much. And I've heard one pundit say this again. I can guarantee you that he's correct. I can guarantee you that there are some players that are performing badly. They know they're performing badly, but they also know that the team is performing badly and that the manager is pretty likely to be on his way out. So why should he make the extra effort right now to perform a little bit better if he knows that, well, the next manager comes in, I'll make the effort then. I can assure you that there are some players that are thinking like that. Why? Again, goes back to the first thing. They don't care. They don't care about the club. They don't care about the badge, the fans, nothing. They only care about the money that they get in their bank account because they know they're never going to get fired. So I'll end this video by saying I agree with every single word Antonio Conte has said. I think most managers around the world agree with what he has said as well. And I'll go as far as to say that I think that probably some Spurs players agree with him as well. Enough with protecting the players from criticism, enough with the player power.
I'm really upset. And everybody has to take the responsibility, not only the club, not only the manager, the staff. The player has to be involved in this situation. Because it's time to change the situation if Tottenham wants to change. If they want to continue in this way, they can change manager, a lot of manager, but the situation cannot change, believe me. Thank you very much.